Hey everyone, I am Angel and I want to officially welcome you into this Coaching at a Glance group. So, like I said in yesterday's live video, there's going to be 1 to 2 videos-ish posted every single day, and it's going to really give you an overview and kind of a feel for not only our team but for coaching in general. So what I wanted to start this group off with was my story, because I feel like I can resonate with a lot of you guys, especially if some of you are coming in that you're moms. So basically, I am Angel. I'm 28 years old. I am a mom of 2. My son is 3 and a half. His name's Jackson, and my daughter is 1 and a half. She will be 2 in August, and her name's Ellie. So when I was younger, I was really pretty chubby, and a lot of people look at me now and they're like, oh, you've always been thin. And that's really not the case whatsoever. I was very, very self-conscious when I was younger. I used to wear one of those like corsets, and because I was so body conscious about like my roles when I was in as young as middle school, I think. And I grew up eating a lot of sweets and just a lot of crappy food, and I wasn't very active, and I've even had a ton of family members when I was younger make comments about my weight, and it did not do a lot for my self-esteem. It made me very anxious, it made me very self-conscious. It gave me such low self-confidence. So I spent a lot of my life having depression. That started in middle school as well. I don't know if it was really related to my weight, but it started around that time. And I finally admitted to myself that I had a problem with depression when I was in college. I went to college for about 10 years, and I still don't have a degree. I might bounce around in my story a little bit, but yeah, so my first stint in college, I was still chubby. I actually gained like 30 pounds because all of my school had to offer was like Taco Bell and chicken fingers, and I was like a release to the world, and I was just able to do whatever I wanted. I got involved with a lot of drinking, like excessive drinking. I did a lot of drugs. I had a lot of bad habits, and I smoked cigarettes. I was just like, there was just so much wrong back then. But it just fed into my depression more, and it fueled it more, I should say. And so I just felt like crap all the time. I felt like crap. And I started to lose weight, but it was in such an unhealthy way. I would like drink and do all these other things and not eat, but then there were days that I would eat a lot. Then there were days that I would play, like, I don't know if you guys remember that Dance Dance Revolution. I would play it all night. I'm not kidding you, all night long. And I would lose like 5 pounds in a night because I just didn't stop. It was just compulsive. And I was just so unhealthy. I was so incredibly unhealthy. And after I was about like 2 years into college, and I was living in one of my apartments, I had been partying like crazy. And I finally realized that I did have a problem with depression. I had a problem in general. So I started going to see a psychiatrist. I think they're the ones that can prescribe medication. But I didn't want any help with like my actual head. I just wanted to be given depression meds just to help. And so that's what I did. I took depression medication for a while. But the thing is, it like numbed every part of me. It numbed the feelings of, it numbed every kind of feeling. There was no good, there was no bad. It was just, that was it. It was just that. I don't know how else to explain it. It was just, I was very dimmed in my emotions. So one day I woke up and I was just like, you know what, enough is enough. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to feel like this anymore. So I literally, and I'm not telling you guys to do this if you're taking depression medication, I literally threw it out. I was like, I'm done with this. And I started getting healthier. I started watching a lot of YouTube videos and learning about all different kinds of nutrition and diets. And I'm not talking about like fad diets, I'm talking about like raw eating and juicing. And I was vegan a couple times, and I was pretty much vegetarian on and off since I was like in middle school. But I just kept, I was so interested in learning so much about health. And I kept going back to school back and forth for a bunch of different things. And during this time when I was really starting to get into health, I was actually going to school for forensic science, totally different field. But I decided that I wanted to pursue something in health because I was so interested in it. Like, it lit me on fire. I like shed all of my weight because I was working out. I was kind of excessive about it. I was kind of compulsive. I was working out like 3 times a day. But that was before I had kids. And I actually had the time too. But I was eating so healthy. I like stopped eating mostly crap food. I wasn't eating any processed foods or anything like that for the most part. I wasn't perfect. I'm still not perfect. But I stopped eating a lot of foods that I shouldn't have been eating. I started incorporating a lot of fruits and vegetables and juicing and raw foods and all these different kinds of things into my diet. And I was doing all different kinds of workouts. I was running, I was doing strength training, I was doing cardio, and I was loving it. And the thing that was amazing for me was that it took that depression away almost. I actually use healthy living as my depression medication, because it gives me so much energy. It gives me so much, it sparks up all of those happy hormones, and I think that's the word, serotonin and all that kind of stuff that gets flowing when you're actually working out and being healthy. So that's what I started doing, and I loved it. And then I met my now ex back in 2011, and it was basically when I was finishing up school for like the millionth time. And I fell in love very, very quickly. I got married very quickly. We got married within 6 months of meeting, and he was in basic training, and then when he graduated from basic training, we got married. And so I'm from Buffalo, New York. I moved down to Texas, Fort Hood, and that's when I got pregnant 3 months later. So we had a very, very whirlwind romance, marriage, kids. We had our son before we even celebrated our 1-year anniversary. So when I was an Army wife, it was very hard to find a job, and once I started showing, it was even harder. And by that point, and after I had my son, I was like, I don't even want to work. I don't want anybody else raising my kid. So, but the thing is that I always had that mentality that I like to work, I like to earn money, I like to be independent, but I also wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be there for my kids. So I started getting back to being healthier. My son literally turned 6 weeks old, and I started Insanity. Like, that was it. It was a recommendation from my best friend, who was my original coach, and I lost a good amount of weight. But, I don't even think I lost that much weight. I think I lost mostly inches. But I didn't drink Shakeology. I thought it was an overpriced protein shake. I thought it was stupid. I didn't even like home workouts, honestly. I was a gym rat, and I thought I knew everything. And but the thing is, when I had my son, I wasn't able to go to the gym. I wasn't able to go out running. I wasn't able to do all that kind of stuff. So I did Insanity. Like I said, it was an at-home workout. I was able to do it while he was just laying there on the floor, or sleeping or whatever. And I lost inches, but it wasn't that great. And then so I added Shakeology in, and I did another round of Insanity, but it was a hybrid with P90X. And I lost weight 3 times faster. I have the craziest sweet tooth ever, and I'm not kidding you when I say Shakeology is quite literally the only thing that has ever curbed it. If I go a couple days without it, my cravings are like, oh my god, you need chocolate right now. It's terrible. And it gave me so much energy, which I really, really needed as a mom and as an Army wife, because my ex, soon-to-be ex-husband, he really wasn't around very much because of the Army. He was out in the field all the time. And so I don't know about you guys if you've ever had to deal with military pay, but it's really not that great. So we did not have a dime when I started. I actually charged everything on a credit card. But I had started coaching after I finished Insanity, or maybe I started when I did Insanity. I don't even remember. It was so long ago. It was 3 years ago. But I told myself, you know what, I'm going to make this investment back. And at the very minimum, it's an investment into my health, and that's okay with me. So I really didn't do very much with coaching at all in my first year. I was a very crappy coach. And just to put it plainly, I was not very good at what I did, but honestly, a lot of new coaches really are not. And it's a learning curve. But when my ex told me that he was going to be getting out of the military, and he told me this, I think, in 2013, and it was right after we found out I was pregnant with my daughter. So something sparked me, and I was like, well, I'm gonna have to go back to work, or I'm gonna have to make this work. So I did, and I really started plugging into trainings. I started actively working my business, and my ex got out of the military, and he started working on the railroad, which is pretty good pay. And within a year of really starting to work on my business to a year later, I had paid off over $5,000 in debt. We were credit card debt free. I was pretty much matching his income, his yearly income, or his, whatever he was making at that time. And it was such a huge blessing, because it not only changed my physical appearance, it changed me from the inside out. It changed our financial circumstances. And to be completely frank, it changed me so much from the inside out that I couldn't, honestly, coaching gave me the ability to change my circumstances with my marriage. My marriage was not a very happy one. My ex had a lot of problems, and I was not strong enough to leave. And I also did not have the financial means to leave. But because of coaching, I found that strength. I found that community in all of these other women that are just so empowering and tell you every single day you can do whatever the freak you want with your life. Life isn't meant to live unhappy. And I started doing a lot of personal development on top of my workouts. And it was just like all of this stuff just helped me grow as a person and grow to be happier and understand that I was worth more, and I wanted my life to be more. I didn't want to live an unhappy life. And I didn't want to have my kids grow up seeing an unhappy life and thinking that was normal. I wanted them to grow up seeing healthy habits and a healthy marriage and seeing what love actually is. So actually my ex had lost his job this past August, in August of 2015. So I was the only income between August and December when we finally split up. And we had just purchased a house in June of 2016. So I was making all of the mortgage payments. I was paying all of the bills. We did get our credit card debt up a little bit more again because of the lack of 2 jobs. And the spending habits were still there. So, we officially split up in December. I have been on my own, taking care of my 2 kids since then. and it's all because of coaching. And to be completely honest, I am so much happier now because of coaching. I cannot imagine what my life would be like right now if I had not been presented with this opportunity. I don't know what kind of a person I would be had I not decided to just do it. Not only have I changed as a person, but like what I do with my life has also changed. I care about myself. I put myself first. I love my kids, but if I'm not taking care of myself, I can't take care of them. And that's not only physically, it's mentally, it's emotionally. And that is so important. And I see so many moms say that they just, they put their kids first. And that's why they're just so drained and so unhappy with their lives. And I mean, this past year, it's been amazing. I went out in January. I went to a new leader conference in LA that I earned. I went on a cruise. So I went down to Florida, and then I went on a cruise to the Bahamas and Jamaica in March. And then I earned a retreat also in Florida and Miami in April that I went on. I'm going to Nashville again. I went to Nashville last year as well for our annual coach conference called Beachbody Summit. And that I'm going to be going to this year. And hopefully I will be qualifying for the leadership retreat later on this year as well. So, coaching has literally changed my life in every single way. I'm glad I'm actually able to talk a little bit more about this, because normally our videos are condensed, but you guys really do get the full, complete, explicit version here of how much my life has changed. I have went from a broke, unhappy, stay-at-home mom to an incredibly happy, an incredibly healthy, freaking kick-ass mom boss, building my own business from home, regardless of what my circumstances are. Like, I'm a single mom. I don't have help from my ex, pretty much. So I do everything myself. And I have my 2 kids. I am able to be here with them every single day. I'm able to go take them outside to play. I'm able to work in the morning, at nap time, at night. That's when I work, is when my kids are asleep. And it's all because I just decided to say yes, and I decided to do it. So I'm telling you guys, you want to make it, this can change your life. It can really, really change your life. And I really hope that you guys really take something away from my story, and maybe I connected with you somehow. So if you could be so kind as to post below about what connected or resonated with you, and why you think that you would want to coach. What would be your why? And when I say your why, that means, why do you think this would change your life? Why does this need to happen so that you can change your life? And I would be so interested to hear all that kind of stuff. And honestly, comment below if you have anything to say, any comments, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. All right, bye.